era of information, all media compete for exclusive stories and race to report breaking news. In March 2019, Cyclone Idai devastated Africa. A cholera outbreak was imminent.
像这样子的小船呢，也成了当地居民主要的交通工具。
Starting mid-March, Dai TV reported non-stop on the disasters brought by Cyclone Idai. This is the kind of exclusive story that Dai TV has insisted on covering for over 20 years. After Cyclone Idai, a cup of beans is the only food that 44 people have for the whole day.
Hello.
Zinha opens her books soaked by the storm to dry them under the sun. Seeing this, a local Tzu Chi volunteer becomes choked with emotion. To help Idai survivors, Tzu Chi volunteers have to travel afar and overcome many obstacles along the way.
我们现在要募什么呢？
募心募爱，给斯坦买砖块救，津巴威、马拉维、莫桑比克盖房子、盖学校、买东西给他们吃。
Few media in Taiwan report on Cyclone Idai. It may seem a lonely path to take, but Dai TV is not alone, as many people have responded warmly to help Africa. On January 1st, 2005, Tzu Chi's Cultural Center was inaugurated. It is home to Dai TV, Dai Radio, and its print media. Over the years, the center has been the hub for gathering stories about Tzu Chi volunteers and events around the world. With the help of technology and the expertise of staff at the center, these stories are made into programs that broadcast around the globe through various media platforms, changing the lives of many people. Huang Qiuxiang in Malaysia is on the brink of collapse from resentment. Her oldest child is autistic, the youngest one is hyperactive, and her mother had a stroke. Her life is unspeakably miserable.
它影响到我，我真的恨不得，真的是想杀掉它那种啊。走到生命的尽头，有些人会自暴自弃。
Today, Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Yanping visits her. Wang has 5 children, and 4 of them are either autistic or hyperactive. But through serving as a volunteer and watching Dai TV programs, Wang has found the strength to move on. With her own experience, Wang knows what Huang has been going through, so she wants to help her.
他生活真的一直面对考验了，我们觉得，好像还有另外一股力量可以帮到他。
Knowing of Huang's limited financial means, Wang and other Tzu Chi volunteers chip in to install a set-top box for Huang, hoping that Dai TV's wholesome programs can help to open her heart and tide her over this difficult period.
我每天想到大爱台，就是他们付出的爱情来的。因为我们爱你嘛，要啦也好嘛。是啦，我看的时候。
现在我们要把时光回到当上人按下按钮的那一刻，大爱台开播了，台湾走入一个全新的媒体时代。
On January 1st, 2018, Dai TV celebrated its 20th anniversary. Established in 1998, Dai TV is the first TV station in Taiwan that was set up by a private non-profit organization. Against the opinions of most people around her, Master Zheng Yan insisted that Dai TV should not rely on commercials for funding or sensational stories for viewer ratings. Instead, its mission is to inspire love in people and bring about peace in the world. To that end, Dai TV has been striving to produce wholesome programs for over 20 years. Without the income from commercials, Dai TV is mainly funded by proceeds from selling recyclables collected by Tzu Chi volunteers, as well as donations from the public and enterprises. By setting up a TV station, all that Master Zhengyan hopes is for Dai TV to report what is true and good and spread Buddhist teachings regardless of cost. Such a decision requires vision and courage. It was unprecedented 20 years ago and remains so today. But it all paid off. Over the past 20+ years, Dai TV has won numerous prestigious awards at home and abroad, which serves to testify that the path it has taken is the correct one. In the same year Dai TV was launched, Rhythm's monthly magazine was published. In the competitive publishing industry, Rhythm's Monthly stands out for its quality of writing and photography. Covering a wide array of topics, the magazine is beloved by readers in Chinese communities worldwide. For over 20 years, it has been a multiple-time winner of the highest Taiwanese award for publications and various awards from credible organizations abroad. For every issue, writers and photographers will mull over every article together. Before deadline every month, everyone stays up late. When the current issue is being printed, writers and photographers are already racking their brains for the next issue. This is Mrs. Du, who is already in her 90s. Mrs. Du is a translation volunteer for Tzu Chi Japanese Monthly. Her belated husband was the first superintendent of Tzu Chi Hospital in Hualien. When the hospital was being built, Mrs. Du was already volunteering with Tzu Chi. Once a week, the volunteers get together to discuss their translation of the articles selected from Tzu Chi Monthly, a Chinese magazine evolved from a bi-weekly newsletter first published in 1967. One year after Tzu Chi was founded in 1966, a bi-weekly newsletter recording people's donations and good deeds was published. The main purpose of the newsletter was to record where each donation came from, how it was used, and other details. An article in the first issue of Tzu Chi's bi-weekly newsletter clearly pointed out its purpose. It says, "From now on, we'll not waste a word or a line on saying things that won't benefit people or the world. Neither will we go against this purpose to do things that are irrelevant to relieving suffering in the world." These words on the first issue of the newsletter have remained true for over 50 years. With touching stories and heartwarming pictures, Tzu Chi Monthly continues to be the source of comfort to many of its readers and has inspired countless people to do good. In 2005, Dai E-Radio, an online radio station, was launched. Through the internet, listeners can have access to the radio programs anytime and anywhere. With live video broadcast, the audience can not only listen to the radio programs, but also see the hosts and interact with them. In fact, in as early as 1985, Tzu Chi's first radio program was already on air via several radio stations in Taiwan and abroad. After becoming an online radio station, it has been able to reach more people, offering them a haven of peace in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Ever since her daughter chanced upon Dai E-Radio and Dai TV, Xinglu Zhen has become a loyal audience member of both channels, as she can access the programs through various electronic devices. Even when her TV broke down, she was in no hurry to buy a new one. For several years, Xing has been watching Dai TV and listening to Dai E-Radio through various apps. That's why in 2015, when her daughter was injured during a dust explosion, she was able to face it with calm and composure, because she has long taken to heart the teachings of Dai's TV and radio programs. From traditional to new media, the mission of Tzu Chi's Cultural Center to spread messages of truth, goodness, and beauty has never changed. At the crossroads of media and technology, the center will continue in its effort to bring more depth and breadth to the content of its work and inspire more people to tap into the innate selfless love within them.